Everyone in the company knew Alexis Rohan as the billionaire CEO who didn't believe in love, not because she ever said it out loud, but because her actions spoke volumes. She shut down every single flirtation, every rumor, and every attempt from women trying to get close. She didn't date. She didn't soften. She didn't feel. And yet, I'd been her assistant for 2 years. I was used to reading her moods, from the sharp, clipped replies to those sudden streaks of brilliance that would hit at the strangest hours. I actually liked my job, mostly because watching Alexis think was like watching a storm gather and then clear, all in an instant. But today, that storm had teeth. A headline was plastered all over the office. TV's Alexis Rohan. Too cold for romance. She slammed her tablet down on the glass table, hard enough to make me jump. This is absolute nonsense, she snapped, her voice cutting through the air. I am not incapable of dating. I just don't have time to audition people. I stayed quiet, partly because she was obviously irritated, but also because I knew that irritation was just a cover for something deeper, something she kept locked away. She paced back and forth, a caged tiger in her own office. Then she suddenly stopped, and her eyes narrowed right at me, as if an idea she definitely should not have had just struck her. You know what? Fine, she declared, her voice ringing with defiance. To prove I'm not some emotionless machine, I will date the next person who walks into this office. Before I could even begin to process those words, I opened the door to bring her the files she'd asked for earlier. Her expression froze. Mine probably matched hers perfectly. I just stood there, clutching a stack of folders. She just blinked at me. Once, twice. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, she said, "Not you." Ouch. I managed, a weak laugh escaping me. I feel very appreciated right now. She pressed her fingers against her temple, looking like she was fighting off a world-class migraine. I didn't mean that, wasn't. You said what you said. I pointed out, a little bolder than I intended. And you walked in, she added, her voice laced with defeat. A heavy silence swirled between us, thick with tension. It felt so real. You could almost see it. You're not obligated to do anything, I said carefully, trying to give her an out. We can just forget this ever happened. Her jaw clenched. That's the problem, she said, her voice low. I don't want to forget it. And just like that, the air in the room changed. It softened. It crackled. It tightened. It was something indescribable. But I felt it. And I knew she did too. The rest of the day was unbearable. Every time I looked up, she was stealing glances at me. I kept pretending not to notice. I don't think either of us breathed normally for a single second. Finally, around 5 p.m., her voice came over the intercom. Come into my office and close the door. Her tone was too gentle, too unsure. That scared me more than anything. I shut the door behind me, the click echoing in the quiet room. She let out a long, slow exhale. I wasn't serious about dating the next person who walked in. She started, but when it was you, I reacted badly, I teased, trying to lighten the mood. No, she said softly. Honestly, Alexis never, ever spoke softly. I reacted because suddenly it didn't feel hypothetical anymore. Suddenly, it mattered. My heartbeat thudded painfully against my ribs. She looked away, her fingers tightening on the edge of her desk. You're the one person I can't treat casually, and that's a bad thing. I asked, my voice barely a whisper. It's terrifying. Her vulnerability was so raw. It felt like it cracked something open inside of me. Alexis, I breathed, taking a step closer. Maybe we don't have to figure everything out all at once. Her eyes lifted to meet mine, searching, as if she was afraid of what she might find. What if we try something small? I offered gently. Just talk. Just be honest with each other. She swallowed hard. I don't know how to do that. You just did, I told her. A faint, fragile smile tugged at her lips. It was the rarest, most beautiful thing in her world. That night, she didn't go home, and neither did I. We ended up reviewing documents on the couch in her office, sitting side by side, closer than we'd ever allowed ourselves to be before. At one point, our hands brushed against each other. She froze for a second, but she didn't pull away. Your hands are cold, I murmured, my voice low. Yours are warm, she whispered back. And then, so softly, so carefully, she laced her fingers with mine. It felt like a silent confession, a secret language only we understood. She looked down at our joined hands and let out a shaky breath. I wasn't afraid of dating, she admitted, her voice trembling slightly. I was afraid of dating someone who matters. I didn't trust my voice to speak, so I just squeezed her hand instead, hoping she understood everything I couldn't say. She leaned her head back against the couch and closed her eyes, the tension finally melting from her posture for the first time since I'd known her. Okay, she whispered, almost to herself. You walked in, so maybe I let you in, too. My chest tightened. Then let's start, I whispered back. Her eyes opened, and they were warm, vulnerable, and full of a hope I'd never seen before. Dinner tomorrow? She asked. Yes, I answered immediately. As long as I don't need to make an appointment. She laughed. A real, soft, unguarded laugh that filled the room. She threaded our fingers together even tighter. This wasn't about a headline, or a dare, or a billionaire trying to prove something to the world. This was her choosing something she'd once been absolutely terrified to touch: me. And I guess I just walked in at exactly the right moment.